Namaste, Ji, Namaste. Welcome to another episode of TLOI Talks. TLOI Talks is a series that is geared towards career counseling for students of law. I implore you to explore this playlist. You will find many lectures and discussions and sessions that will really help you out if you are considering a career in law. It's talking about drop years, talking about a hell lot. Please do explore the playlist. Now, 10 things that they don't tell you about being a lawyer. First and foremost, it isn't as bad. So many people may just tell you that it is a lot of struggle, there is a total lack of work, there is an oversupply of lawyers, there is not as much work available in the market. I kid you not, it isn't as bad. But having said that, second pointer, it isn't as great either. So if you're pretending that you'll be the next CGI of India, you can be. There's you can say a 1% or 2% possibility first generation lawyer. In fact, our present CGI is a first generation lawyer. Can be, but very difficult. First and foremost, you won't be a Harvey Specter because that is all fantasy. Real life does not work like that. And if you're only going in for packages, as in if you are presuming that you'll get a 12 to 15 odd lakh package at a top law firm, reserved right out of college for a very tiny minority of lawyers graduating from the top law schools, couple that with marks. If you aren't in that pool straight away, that doesn't mean that you will not be able to reach those packages. Maybe you are able to reach those packages not right out of college, but maybe after 2 to 3 years down the line, after you gain significant experience. But it isn't as glorious or glamorous as it is made out to be. But it isn't as bad either. Having said that, point number three. So a lot many of us, we don't want to practice after doing law, or a lot many of us go in for degrees just for the sake of getting a degree. Some people want to delay their marriage. You belong to a good business class family. You're like, abhi shaadi wadi nahi karni, and if you're sitting idle, they'll perhaps marry you off. Or you just want to cut time. You just don't know basically what your track in life is, and you just want a degree for getting a degree's sake. It is perhaps the best degree. Why? Because it changes your worldview, and it changes, or rather increases or enhances your understanding how the government of India works, how all of these various acts are working, and how they influence your life. So for example, even if you're a shopkeeper with the LL.B, you perhaps know then how to deal better with somebody who comes into your shop with license norms or the Shopkeepers Act, whatever it is. You understand legal notices better. You understand perhaps business better. So perhaps in my opinion, this is the best degree to have, even if you don't end up practicing, whether in the corporate field, whether in litigation. You always have the avenue of judiciary opening up. You always have the avenue of teaching. You always have the avenue of a lot many more things. You can always go in for a LLM and then pursue your career in very high level academics. Even if you don't want to practice, there are endless avenues provided that you are good enough. Now when I say it isn't bad, it isn't as great, the focus is again on you. That the degrees, perhaps right out of college, they may matter, but over a period of time only you matter. We've already spoken about this also in an episode. I'll just put it here and I'll link it in the card as well. If you're not from a top college, then how do you play this game? All right, we have pretty much discussed quite a lot of things in the TLOI Talk series. Now, pointer number 4. No, your career is not over if you are not from the top NLUs. It's absolutely a lie, because how many seats are there in the topmost NLUs any which way? So what about those who are not graduating from here? We have also done a lecture on this, or a session on this, in which I've detailed out people who are not from the top NLUs but are at partners at top law firms, and I've put their LinkedIn profiles as in without their names, with their qualification, which colleges are they from. Everything is in the playlist. So it is a total misconception. Your career is absolutely safe and sound provided that you are competent enough. See, this is a skill, this is a service-based profession. Unlike a kirana store, you are not selling milk food for a profit. You are not selling agarbattis for a profit. You are not selling anything, basically, for a profit. So you're not selling a good, you're selling a service. And in this service, basically in this area, you are the service yourself. So you need to be polished, knowledgeable, able to speak and understand things better. We'll just get to that point. Pointer number 5, you don't need to be a loudmouth, argumentative person. Again, covered in another lecture, but we'll discuss it again. So if you have this belief that the more extroverted you are, the more aggressive arguments that you can present, or if you are just a very loudmouth person, then you'll be a better lawyer. It's far from it. Majority of lawyering is understanding the problem and conveying it calmly to the judge and creating a doubt in the judge's mind about your client's case or the other side's case. So that is the art of advocacy. We'll talk about that in a separate lecture. But this is far from truth. In fact, the most successful lawyers, you will find them to be pretty calm, balanced individuals. Sure enough, there is an element of networking because you get work from other lawyers, so you need to be a bit of an extrovert there in trying to network with people and trying to getting to know people. But that doesn't mean that you're sitting with them over a glass of whiskey almost daily and then socializing just for lawyering. No, think about it any which way. Just think about it. Let us say that a client approaches you for work, and the first thing that you need to do is to understand their problem, and for them you have to let them speak. And even in a court of law, you're not allowed to speak like a loudmouth person who Sunny Deol Damini ke nahi hai aap. In real life works completely different from what you may just hold an opinion of. That, oh my god, the more and more opinionated, the more and more skill that you have in a debate, the more and more argumentative skills that you may have may just help you, may just not be the case in reality. Pointer number 6 is a shameless plug. There's a small channel called TLOI Academy. TLOI stands for Teaching Laws of India. This is the channel which you're watching for. It's been 4 years. Quite a small channel given the timeline. Any which way. Pointer number 7 is Hindi medium. Now, can Hindi medium students or students from Hindi medium backgrounds, can they make it as good advocates and good lawyers? Yeah, sure. In fact, the majority of the practice in the lower courts, the trial courts, and it's not a shame to be practicing in a lower court. Doesn't mean that everyone has to be a Supreme Court advocate. No. In fact, the core crux of a law is in a trial court. The actual law, because the high courts, they are appellate courts. The actual story, the actual arguments, the actual application of law happens at the lowermost level, and therein you will find that a lot many people from Hindi medium backgrounds, they are absolutely at the top of their game. So just because if you are from a Hindi medium background and you think that you're going to struggle a lot with law, may just not be the case, because it is a different art altogether to communicate in English, but it's a different art altogether to comprehend English. And if you're intelligent enough and you've been working hard, I'm sure your English comprehension is up to the mark, even though you may just not be able to speak, for example, as fluently as I am doing right now, because that is completely, the way you speak in English is completely dependent on your schooling, and it cannot be improved very easily once you are an adult, unless and until you take out time from your life and completely dedicate it to this cause. Again, separate story that gives me an idea for a video. Any which way. So even for a student from Hindi medium background can check out TLOI Academy English. That's a dedicated channel. I haven't posted there for a while, but I'll post it. It's dedicated for people from Hindi medium background to improve your English. TLOI, therefore, it's a very small channel, unknown commodity, but we have posted for LLM, law optionally, or semester entrances, anything to do with law, and it's been quite a while now, but somehow we just don't end up getting subscribers. I don't know, it's a mystery. Any which way. Eighth, it is not worth taking multiple drops. If you are taking, let us say, 3 drops to clear CLAT, and let us say that you are a young soul, you are 18, and then you're taking, I know multiple people who have counseled out of this situation. Multiple people have benefited from TLOI talks. Can drop your videos and not taken multiple drops. This is not the way to go. This is a seniority based profession. If you are taking like 3 drops and then there is a high chance of you not clearing the examination, because the examination is very dynamic. All right, so instead of taking multiple drops, take the best college that you have, keep it as a backup, and then only attempt the exam again. In fact, I got an email from an old student of mine even this year as well, who didn't take a drop, who got into one of the NLUs, but not from the top 5, the bottom 5 in the top 10, and he's fairly happy. If he would have taken a drop without taking that NLU seat, this year 2020 and 2021 are classic cases of why you don't take a drop without having a backup plan in place. The world has completely shown it to you that it's absolutely unpredictable what happens tomorrow. All right. Ninth, it gets boring at times. Yes, law school isn't a very exciting place and wherein you'll be arguing a lot of times. In fact, or even life after law school, gets boring at times. It isn't like the fireworks कहीं पे चल रहे हैं आसमान में पटाखे फूट रहे हैं and then there is some music going on and then you're walking like Sunny Deol in the courtroom and well the judge साहब is like अरे क्या बात क्या बॉडी बना के आए तुम ऐसे कुछ नहीं it gets even the profession gets boring at times, but a lot many people are addicted to litigation as well, because if you once अगर आपको इसका नशा चढ़ गया litigation का तो फिर उतरता नहीं. All right, and but it takes some time to develop. All right, it takes a lot of time for all these. Law is a very, even if you see the entire justice system is quite slow. You don't get decisions in one go. In fact, today only Tarun Tejpal has been acquitted of the rape case or the molestation case, whatever it was, 2013. It's 2021 right now. Therefore, when the entire justice system is slow, it gets boring at times. All right. And 10th, it is not that hard. If somebody were to tell you, oh my god, law entrances are insanely tough, they're not. Law school is extremely tough, it is not. Practice of law, oh my god, is so hard, it is not. Compare them to what the NWT guys are doing. Compare them to, for example, what a neurosurgeon does. Compare it to a lot many other professions. They are exceedingly tough. This is not that hard. Things that they will not tell you. All right. Wishing you all the very best. Take very good care of yourself. Stay safe. Bye.